One common pitfall that people fall in when they adopt a skills-based hiring approach is being overly focused on particularly tangible but narrow skills. So what do I mean by that? There are some skills, usually derived from a formal job analysis, that just come to mind immediately. So for example, certain skills with Excel, for example, might be a core function of the role, but in practice, it's probably a very tiny portion of the role. It might be something that is essential. It might be something that is very easy to identify when thinking about the specific skills associated with the role, but that isn't inherently a good thing. Now, the problem with a job analysis-based approach, what happens is the more tangible skills come to the center. For example, VLOOKUPs with Excel. They need to be able to do that. Okay, that goes down on the list. They need to know Salesforce. Okay, that goes down on the list. The problem is that although these are specific and tangible, they're often extremely narrow. Maybe 0.3% of the job is doing VLOOKUPs in Excel. It's not a lot of the job. Consequently, when you use these in recruitment, if you hire someone based on their ability to do VLOOKUPs in Excel, although it seems like an evidence-based approach because it's done via job analysis, you're just looking at an extremely narrow, small portion of the role, whereas there are things which are more intangible and broad that affect performance in a far more meaningful sense. So for example, let's say VLOOKUPs in Excel is 0.3% of the job. Teamwork might be 10%. The ability to learn and solve problems might be 30%. Because that feeds into the other things. You acquire skills through teamwork. You acquire skills through learning. So by looking at things which are indeed more amorphous, not quite as easy to pin down, but indeed far more important and more all-encompassing when it comes to performance in the workplace, you don't need to be so ultra-specific. Specific isn't inherently good. Specific is narrow. Broad and general, on the other hand, that covers far more bases. And as a result, in a skills-based hiring approach, you very much want to be looking at these big, broad families of skills, as well as things like soft skills, and particularly cognitive skills, because cognitive skills underpin skill development literally across the board. Like, you're not going to acquire new skills without sufficient cognitive ability. It's a powerful choke point in one's development. So don't think about skills-based hiring in terms of let's isolate these very specific, narrow skills, which take up very little of a person's time, to be honest. Instead, think about the bigger, broader skills, which encompass performance more generally.